making component. Lets the robot know how to react, what to say, all of those things.
Okay. What actually led you to dive into robotics? Do you have any prior background in robotics?
Actually, I did my master's degree at the University of Sussex in England, was in essentially evolutionary robotics. So the idea with that is to try to build robots that are at least as smart as, say, insects or small animals, and solve some of these really difficult problems that you have with, say, navigation and vision and things like that. Actually, those problems in many respects are harder than some of the traditional AI problems like playing chess and things like that.
And what about humanoid robotics and creating human forms?
Well, my first experience with humanoid robotics was with David. David met Art at a conference. Art is the principal investigator of the AutoTutor grant who I work with closely. And they met at a conference and started talking about using this robotic head as part of AutoTutor, which is a tutoring system that teaches physics and conceptual physics and computer literacy. And how that would work with people, if that would help teach them physics better. And so David came and visited, and we got to talking. And at one point in time, he said, you know, there are all these things we could do with these robot heads. And he was brainstorming. I was brainstorming with him. And he said, what if we created a robotic portrait of Philip K. Dick? And I'm a big Philip K. Dick fan. I've read a lot of his books. And I just thought that was such a great idea. And I said to David, if you build the head, I will write all the software, and we'll engage on this kind of adventure into crazy land with this Philip K. Dick robot. So,
okay. What would you say is the key innovation that's really expanding, like lifebotics, humanoid robotics, from your end that you're contributing to?
Essentially, some of the natural language understanding and natural language generation. Most of the things that I've worked on with AutoTutor involve taking what someone says and trying to figure out what it means, and also building a kind of model of what you think the person you're interacting with knows. And those are the kinds of, those are the background of ideas that I'm bringing into this, but there's some much more elaborate natural language processing, computational linguistics that are going on. It's really the smorgasbord. When you build something as complete as this, you know, it's an end-to-end complete system. There are a lot of stages. There's a natural language understanding stage, there's speech recognition, there's parsing, there's text summarization, there's information retrieval, question answering. I mean, it's got a little bit of everything in it.
Okay. And with regard to, having a little bit of everything in it, what would you say sets your views and your efforts apart from other, say, other roboticists and how they're looking at tackling robotics problems, especially with lifelike forms?
Right. I don't think people are approaching this problem in the same way that we are. Most of the research that I'm familiar with is really scripted for a particular domain, and a lot of what we're doing is domain independent. So basically you use techniques and algorithms that automatically are trained up on a new area, and then you have some things that are just never change, like syntax for the parser. So you just have an English parser, it's not a big deal. But we're really building a full-blown conversational intelligence that attempts to duplicate Philip K. Dick's conversational intelligence. I don't think anybody's ever done that. Some of the closest things I've seen are like there's a robotic secretary in Japan. I don't recall who's working on that. And it handles the secretarial domain. People coming in and, or I think it's a receptionist. People coming in and asking, where is so-and-so? So that's actually pretty straightforward compared to what we're trying to do.
Okay. Well, what can we expect to see at this year's Next Fest with regard to the Philip K. Dick project?
I think it'll be pretty exciting. I think people will be flabbergasted. Some people will probably be a little bit freaked out by it.
All right. And where do you see the future of all this? Where is this heading? Right now we have robotic heads. and your contributions, what are the major innovations that will be coming down the line that will affect the way we live, work, play, etc.?
Well, I think the next generation of robots will come in and be more like human assistants. That's really, I think, where society is ready for them to be. Nobody is ready to have a robot come in and do the work of a man, and quite frankly, the technology in most respects isn't there yet. I think, you know, they'll be big in entertainment, big in some sort of companionship respects. There's really two sides to this. There's the robotic form itself, the mechanical side. There's also the kind of disembodied intelligence. The disembodied intelligence can also be running around on the internet, talking to people, be used in video games, stuff like that. I think entertainment is probably the major venue for this in the near future. And then maybe as technology progresses and as society becomes more used to the idea, we'll actually see robots out in the workplace doing mundane tasks that nobody else wants to do, perhaps even tasks that are too dangerous for people to do.
All right. Any other questions you think I should have asked?
Sounds good to me.